Hey, how are we doing today? Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. By the way, did you catch last night's lunar eclipse? I was able to catch a little part of it. It was already past full and starting to go the other direction, but didn't feel like hanging out, staying up late to finish watching it. But yeah, I got to catch a glimpse of that. Weekend, yeah, again, hope you had a good one. Mine actually kind of did some pondering over the weekend, which has to do with today's very topic. And part of that involves I got to do a test ride on a motorcycle yesterday that I may or may not purchase. Of course, depends on the guy who still wants to sell because mine kind of died and even wore one of my motorcycle shirts today kind of think about. So, what are you hungry for? Part 1, body, mind, and spirit. So before we get into some aspects of it, let me kind of give it a little history. Some of you may have heard my story before, but I started working on myself and taking care of it. I got introduced to weight training in junior high. Definitely didn't start taking it seriously till high school. Actually played a factor, which my physical fitness. I walked away from a major accident, probably could have killed me. But that was a fitness. And then around either 98, 99, 2000, somewhere in there. Matter of fact, I was going to grab the book, but I didn't. Dan Millman's The Peaceful Warrior Collection is what I started reading. And that helped to trigger something where I started getting interested in meditation, massage, energy work, personal growth, personal development, and kind of launched from there. But from the time I started working on those elements, I was constantly learning, constantly reading, figuring things out, working on myself, improving myself. I was doing meditation. I started getting energy work. So I was working on my body, mind, spirit purposely, but yet I didn't know I was working on my body, my mind, and my spirit. That kind of makes sense. But the time I put it all together, about 15 years. By the time I started, to the time I figured it, I was like, oh. So that was around 2015-ish. So again, 99, 2000, 98, 99, 2000, somewhere in there is where I started. 2015 or 14, 16, somewhere there's where it clicked with me. But it didn't make full effect until going through cancer. And that's when I realized when I went through it the cancer rather easily is how I realized, okay, I need something to share. Okay, so stay with me here. This does have to do with what feeds you. So I realized I needed some training. I had the information, but I still wanted to learn how to do it properly. So I found a training course through EverCoach, which is part of Mind Valley, and they offered a health coaching class from Cynthia Garcia. Now, what got me interested is because she taught on elements of not just nutritional health, but body, mind, and spirit. So that's what got me into there. And I went ahead and took their full certification, which you probably heard me share about before. But yeah, one of the things that Cynthia talked about, so Cynthia Garcia, she has the Institute of Transformational Nutrition, which is where I got my certification through. But yeah, it's teaching things on all levels, your body, your mind, and spirit. So it's not just food, but physical nourishment, physical nutrition, spiritual nutrition, mental nutrition, what feeds you on all levels. So that's the idea of what you're hungry for. Matter of fact, Cynthia, even if you look up what you're hungry for, you'll find a book from Deepak Chopra. But Cynthia, you look her name, she even had what she called the Hungry Method. But this kind of stems from her. So last week, this is something I've been kind of going through. I've been realizing with my motorcycle died on me about 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago. So I've been watching motorcycle videos in the evenings when I'm done working. Also, the idea is I shared up a post last week and way a friend commented, trigger all these thoughts. I'm getting to the point. But all that kind of triggered is realizing, what are you hungry for? So what this kind of breaks down to is what feeds you, what fills you up, what nourishes you on all levels. So we're not talking about just food. Food does play a factor, absolutely, but very little. We're coming to what feeds you. And that's why I asked you last week, I said, what nourishes you? Just kind of contemplate over the weekend, what fills you up in those areas. So this is what this is about. This is part 1. So in the next 3 days, we're going to come over specifically kind of dive a little deeper into body, mind, spirit, and we'll kind of wrap things up on Friday. But for right now, yeah, this is what it is. It's realizing that food feeds us only on a micro, on just a little bit of level. Even you talk to Tony Robbins, if you remember Tony Robbins, I've been watching him speak, he goes, what gives you energy? Well, food, yeah, food does a little bit, but it's everything else about us. It's how we choose to work on our emotions. It's how we choose to live. What are we around? What brings us in? Or what do we feed into us all around us on all levels? Again, what do we listen to? What do we think about? What do we watch? All of that plays a factor into what feeds you and what is it you're hungry for. So kind of contemplate that a little bit. So what we're going to do is I'm going to begin this video. So this is an overview today. And in my Facebook group, there's going to be more little detailed kind of exercises to do. You'll find a link in the description here for the Facebook group. But in there, you go to the guide section, look for what you're hungry for, and then I'll do a little breakdown there about some further exercises to take you if you want to go farther with us and kind of go a little deeper on it. But yeah, kind of go through and realize, so what feeds you? What nourishes you, your body? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel energized? What makes you feel alive on it? Mentally, what fires you up? What gets you going? And spiritually, what just kind of fills your soul and livens you up? So that's what we're actually talking about. And that's one of the aspects. If you go through and you realize you're having a struggle with your fitness, your health, or your wellness, you're going through I keep doing the thing. I keep doing the routine. I keep eating it. I keep eating the food. I keep doing the exercise, but what's not happening? Part of that comes through, as we talk about it here, is what's going to work for you. Is if it doesn't work for you, you don't like it, it doesn't nourish you on all those different levels, you might not get a whole lot out. Now, I know Brendan Bashar talks about embrace the suck, and that actually is part of it. But if it's not going to fill you up, if it's not going to liven you on different levels, there's a good chance it won't do a whole lot for you, because you can be out there eating the best food going through, but if it's just draining you on the side and draining you on the inside, you might not get a whole lot of benefit out of it. So yeah, in the description, there'll be a link to the Facebook group, and we'll get some more details in there. But yeah, part 1. So take some time to really realize what feeds you up physically, mentally, and spiritually. Again, we'll go over details in the next couple of days, but that's what we're going through. Figure out what feeds you. And it's one thing I realized for myself with, I'll give you a little what's to come. Sometimes even with my training right now, last night I was going through, it's like, I want to change my training up. I need to do something different because it's not feeding me right now. Okay, that's not working. And part of it I realized with the motorcycle, I'm watching those videos, like, okay, this is feeding me. I want to do this. So think about the points like that. Where is it when you lighten up and you feel like, oh, this is something I want to do. Oh, I'd love to be doing this. Oh, this. You feel more energized after you do something. Those are the things you're kind of looking for. What feeds you? What are you hungry for? Body, mind, and spirit. All right. So that's what we got for you right now. So go ahead and link the description to join the Facebook group and get the more details on this. So we will catch you tomorrow for what feeds you body, or excuse me, what are you hungry for? Body. All right. We'll catch you then, and balancing to you. So bye-bye.